Hi, my beautiful light beings. Before I go to bed, child was getting downloads on top of downloads all day, and I was like, let me go ahead and drop this recording because yeah, I guess it's time to learn, it's time to teach. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that we are definitely continuing with our healing work just because we got to 5D, just because we have elevated. Like I always say, you got to make sure that you maintain your frequency. You have to maintain that you operate always in the sense that keeps you on the most highest vibration that you could possibly be on. It's important now that those of us who have made it over to 5D, that we really release release and purge the remaining aspects of 3D that has been suppressed within us. So whatever last minute, not last minute, but whatever deep rooted wounds and traumas that's still lingering in regards to the emotional aspect of it, whatever ancestral wounds that need to be released, any type of generational patterns that have been deeply embedded, because again, all of that is deeply within our DNA. So it is really important to focus on that aspect. This download, this message is going to be about understanding that why intentions matter in the spiritual realm. Okay, so when we have this kind of black and white perspective of light and dark when it comes to the 3D aspect. So everything down here is just, good versus evil, and evil and what's good. And when the actual reality of it is there's no, I wouldn't say there's no really such thing as good and bad. You understand what I'm saying? It's more so just the polarity which you operate on and the intentions within that polarity. Okay, for instance, that's why we happen to love certain villain stories. Like, even though we know, like, people like the Joker and people like John Wick and certain killers or things like that's in the movie, even though we know that who they are in the sense of like what they're doing and what their job is more so on a darker sense. You understand? They be in there fucking shit up, but we tend to love them because of their intentions. We tend to love them because of their background story. We tend to love them because they still tend to have somewhat of their brain still somewhat has a point to what they're doing. Not saying it's always right, but the intentions behind it matters. So, for instance, we have people here on this realm who would go to jail for murder, but then you would have someone who would go to jail for murdering pedophiles or certain predators. And nobody bats an eye and say, oh, well, that person deserves to know. Nigga, people say that shit all the time when they're just like, yeah, not all heroes wear capes and different things like that. So we have to understand why intentions matter, because it will help you to further accept the reality of who your being actually is. You understand? Because just because you wake up, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to wake up and realize like, oh shit, I'm of love and light. That's not the case. A lot of people wake up and realize like, you know what? Oh shit, I'm actually made of complete darkness. Oh, okay, cool. Oh shit, my bloodline is nothing but hardcore demons. Oh, god damn. Cool. You understand? And again, it's nothing you can necessarily do about that aspect, except make the choice on if you want to use that for the higher good of just the overall flow of energy and overall balancing out of energy, or if you want to utilize that as something for to feed your ego. You see what I'm saying? It matters. So as we continue to elevate, right, and we continue to balance out both the light and dark aspects of self, you actually, the saying, the more you know better, you do better. That's really where it's at. You're given more so of a responsibility. You're held to a much higher standard, because you see, the thing is that because there is a veil covering and there is so much spell work that is casted upon this realm to create a great amount of illusion, it's kind of difficult to see through the bullshit oftentimes. You understand? So it's kind of like you being a baby, essentially. Like when a baby first get here, even if you try to teach it a couple of times, right versus wrong, it'll have to take some experiencing and some type form of awareness in order for them to learn. So once they get to that point, they get to toddler stage. Excuse me. And if they still out here doing the same shit, then obviously there are consequences than just a normal baby doing something, because hey, you tried it out, you were taught a lesson, and you still chose to go ahead and do what you wanted to do anyway. So now you have to face the consequences. Same exact way in the spiritual realm. You sit here and you say, okay, cool. You learn about light and dark polarities. You learn about energy. You learn about frequency. You understand energetic manipulation. You understand how divination works. You understand all of that stuff. You start to gain knowledge on the tools in which you can utilize to help you within this realm. You also start to understand just the different deities and entities and their background stories and how come they ended up being where they're at and which polarity they chose to operate in. Once you acquire a certain level of knowing, again, the standard is held higher. So source is looking at you like, okay, cool. So rose-colored glasses, they gone. So now what is your excuse if you are ill-intended? It can't be on the other person, because the other person ain't where you at yet. So that can't be that. So the thing is that you knew better. You knew better and is deciding, okay, I'm just not gonna do better. My bad, y'all. My stabilizer started acting weird, started shaking and shit. Okay, we back. Yeah, you knew better, and you know better. When you waking up, is only a small percentage of us that's up. So that means that we know better, and then we're actively choosing just to still move and operate just like everybody else. That's not how it's gonna work. It can't work like that. Your intentions, you have to be so intentional about every single decision that you make once you have awoken and once you think, because now you have a different type of responsibility. You operate now on a different standard. So you can't be out here doing casting spells and doing all types of shit all willy-nilly and tapping into people energy, knowing good and well that you didn't have no access to these people, and dropping this and trying to do destiny swaps and trying to do all other types of shit, because you can't sit there and say that you didn't know. Because one of the first things that we learn about, or that you should be learning about when you have your awakening, is understanding spiritual law, understanding universal law. Just because we have free will does not mean, and that is a universal law. Free will is one of the universal laws. You understand? Source do not play about that free will shit. You feel me? Also, that comes with responsibility. I understand that we have the free will to tap into all the dark shit that we need to, but that don't mean y'all gotta do it. Just because we have the ability to manipulate energy, to turn things to work into our favor, it does not mean that you take advantage of the gifts and the powers that source hands to you when you tap into these realms. That's why it cracks me up a lot of times when we get the whole demon and witch and all these different types of names and things put on us. Because if y'all only knew how many of us understand why it's so why it's so essential, and it's really imperative that you learn and respect and honor the universal laws. You have to. You literally have to. Like, you have to get to a point. You literally have to get to a point where it's like you can't even wake up properly unless your intentions are set. And that is where having a moral compass and having a high level of integrity goes to show, because even when no one's watching you, you should still be at a place where you're doing the right thing. Even if you are a killer, even if you do operate in a negative and not a negative, in the dark, in a more dark polarity of the energies, you understand what I'm saying? What are you doing? Are you taking advantage of the fact that that's your job? Are you taking advantage and you just outside tearing shit up? Or are you waiting for the right moment, for righteous justice, for well-intended purposes to go out here and do what you got to do? At some point in time, you have to start holding yourself accountable on the decisions that you're making. You can't just fuck a person over time after time after time after time again and blame it on, oh, well, that's just how I am, and I don't give a fuck, and da-da-da. Nah, my nigga, that shit after a while, like, you look weird. You understand what I'm saying? You look weird. You look weird trying to figure out, you understand? Sorry, my nose itching. You look weird at this way. Not weird as in like, oh, niggas is judging you weird, but just more so like, pick a side. What are you doing? Intentions matter, y'all. So I need you to sit down and really think about who you are and the life that you want to live in this timeline. Again, it's not about the polarity. What are your intentions? Again, dark niggas got a moral compass too. So at some point in time, we have to make a choice of, all right, am I solely living for self, or am I absolutely living for the greater good of the collective? Am I sitting here doing my job to feed my ego, or am I doing this because I'm in service to source? Do you think I want to get on here all the time and be transparent as I can and publicize my life stories and different things like that? Nah, quite frankly, I'd rather not talk about them bitches. And bitches in the sense of the dramas. I'd rather not discuss it. I'd rather not put myself on the forefront, but that is what is required in order for people to really understand that shit get real out here. Shit gets real. People will tap into your energy and do some real ill-intended shit just because they see, oh shit, you got some shit on your life. You got some abundance and some bomb ass shit waiting for you, not knowing all of the requirements and the damn, you didn't even read the fine print. All you saw was materialistic shit. And you did some ill-intended shit. You looking at your friend finally made it. Your friend finally made it. Yeah, your friend finally made it after years and years and years of struggling. She finally get her new crib and her new car, and you pouting up your nose because you get it and I don't. So now you over here sending evil eye because you over here coveting other people's shit instead of just being grateful for your own life. Now you out here then seeing a damn dark priest, you done seen witch divination worker and shit like that, and now you out here building up years worth of karma, putting mad shit on your bloodline. All because you have the illest intentions. And what we fail to understand is that because we are all reflections of each other, every single time you do something ill-intended towards someone, baby, that's you harming yourself. That is self-harm. Because every being that you come across is either going to be the past, present, or future version of yourself. So when you sit there and you make up in your mind, you know what, I'm going to do the wrong, I'm not even wrong, I'm just going to do an ill-intended thing. What you're sending out to the message that you're sending out to the universe is that I do not love or care for myself enough, that I would rather harm myself and the reflections of me instead of facing myself and seeing what I can do to improve my overall look and wellness in life. So please take the time and really sit down while you're on this journey, especially during this time as we are purging things out. Take the time and sit down and figure out, who is it that you really are? What is it that you actually truly stand for? Because it's enough of, oh, let's give them a little bit of grace and the benefit of the doubt because they are on this realm and da-da-da. Nah, nigga, the veil is going. Okay? It's going. Everybody, nigga, you got to wake up whether or not you want to, baby. You got to become aware of this shit whether or not you want to. Now, you could choose to stay asleep in this realm. You could choose to pretend like you don't know what's going on. But in the spiritual realm, baby, everybody already know you up. So while you keep doing these ill-intended things, throwing rocks and hiding hands, spiritual hands and shit, nigga, we see you. Y'all cannot hide no more. Y'all cannot hide behind these masks. We see y'all. So just make sure the intentions are always pure. Even if it's a situation where it's like, I don't fuck with that bitch. Make sure the reason why you don't fuck with that bitch is because there's something energetically over there that you just don't align with. Not because the next bitch don't fuck with her. Not because of jealousy, not because of envy, hate, none of fear, none of that. Intimidation, none of that. Make sure your reasons are always well intended when you do something. And be prepared to deal with the consequences that comes both on a personal level and on a generational level. Because that's the problem nowadays, is that a lot of people are doing shit that are very ill-intended and then turning around and playing victim once the consequences now have to come into play. Because understand, Everything at the end of the day is about the balance, keeping the scales balanced in the universe, period. So on an energetic level, there has to be just as much darkness going on simultaneously as there is light, because one cannot do without the other. Find your happy medium within both realms and figure out what your point, what it is that you feel like you are about for real. Because if you sit there and pretend over and over again that you're just well-intended person, when you know you live your life like a fuck nigga, and I mean energetically, you ain't got no moral compass at all. Don't no entity or deity want to work with your ass, because you ain't about your word for real. And you don't really move like that for real. See, that's what we get into now. See, everybody, y'all want to be ill-intended. You see all these higher vibrational beings, whether they be in the dark realms or not, they been watching everybody. And y'all be ready to call on niggas and drop offerings and shit, and you wonder why shit ain't getting accepted. Nigga, yeah. You think niggas is gonna work with you and they know that you out here fucking shit up for no reason? You out here just ill-intended as fuck. Now you wonder, now you trying to figure out why the only niggas that's fucking with you is the deities and entities with no moral compass. Of course, they don't give a fuck. They don't. They'll work with anybody. They'll work with anybody. Because they know what the consequence is at the end of the day. Because they understand how spiritual law works. They understand the need to balance the scales. They understand how it is to have a moral compass still. They get it. So they let you move in your ego and think that you doing hot shit. Whole time, all them ill intentions gonna bite you in the ass. So yeah, y'all, get with it. Get your shit together. Do better, grow. I know a lot of us come from, we grew up and we survived in some really fucked up ass places. And it's unfortunately a situation that causes us to have to be in survival mode and operate out of our root chakra. You understand? But again, once you heal and you break free from a lot of the programming, a lot of the indoctrinations and things of that source, man, I'm telling you, it's no more excuses. It's no more excuses. It's no more pretending to be one way when you're actually another. If you about that life and you on that type of weird ass shit, you understand what I'm saying? And I only call it weird ass shit, not because I don't respect it, because it is what it is. Free will is free will. But my nigga, that shit weird on this side because we're all about elevation. We're all about the greater good of the collective over here. So I'm not gonna sit there and coddle no motherfucking low vibrational ass energy, my nigga. A moral compass is essential. Your integrity is essential. If you have neither and you have not worked on either, then you really got to sit down and do some serious introspection, because your moral compass literally is that crossroad point that you need when it comes to going too far over to the light and too far over in the dark. Because you can't just be all light all the time. That shit, you lose your shit. And you can't just be all dark all the time. That shit'll turn you into a whole nother beast. So this needs to be a moment where everybody needs to sit down and figure out, what are my intentions in life? Every time a situation comes up, if I'm about to do some shit, what's my intentions? Am I feeding my ego? If you know you feeding your ego, sit it the fuck down. Consequences be too deep to even try to go down that route. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Understanding the need for intentions. Understanding how intentions show up in the spiritual realms. They see everything, y'all. Nothing is hidden in the spiritual realm. The whole fake shit we be doing just because people are not physically present or people or whatever the case may be, bruh, it's clipped for all that over there. So stop faking the funk. And stop faking the funk with yourself. Fuck everybody else. Stop faking the funk with yourself. Everybody, it doesn't matter who it is, has the ability to change. They have the ability to evolve. They have the ability to grow. But if you want to continue down the path of arrested development on a spiritual sense, then by all means. But keep that ill-intended shit the fuck up out of here. Because the thing is that it's at a point now where those of us who have elevated to a certain level of consciousness, baby, we gonna smell that shit from a mile away. So you really ain't fooling nobody. Okay? I love y'all. Understand that these lessons and these teachings and everything like that is really just to help give you some thought. This is not for you to necessarily follow in the sense of like, oh yeah, this is nope. If it does not resonate with you, then by all means carry on. But just know that if this triggered you in any kind of way, or if it did resonate with you, that just means that it's either going to be confirmation for what you were already feeling that you're on the right path of doing, or this is, if it's triggering you or it's bothering you to hear this, then it just means that there's some more shit that you just need to work on. And that's okay. It's shit I still get triggered about now. But as soon as I feel like I'm triggered, nope, I have to go within. So take that time. Figure out who you are. Figure out what you want to do for real. It's going to help you. Quicker you accept that, quicker we can move forward. All right? I love y'all. I'll tap in with y'all later on another video. All right.